Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year.
For years, everyone suspected Diddy wasn't exactly a saint. But if what Jaguar Wright is revealing is even half true, then Diddy might be operating on a level of darkness nobody could have imagined. According to her, his entire public persona hides something far more disturbing.
I don't know if that's even possible. Because if he was able to pull this off before he was a billionaire, look at what we got going on now. Derek replies, "This is illegal." And Sean Combs, Kim L. Worthy are all behind this, and you're going to just sit there and let this happen, Your Honor. And the judge says, gotta pay the bills somehow.
Jaguar claims that back in 1997, Diddy allegedly assaulted a man, and the case actually made it into the courts. Yet the world never heard about it. Why? Because, she says, the government stepped in and quietly buried the entire thing. The question is, why would officials protect someone accused of such a crime? What did they gain? And the biggest question of all, was Diddy actually working as a federal informant who eventually slipped out of control?
What they want you to do is they want you to hammer me, and they want you to pressure me, and they want you to try to put me in the grinder and see if I'll fall apart. And guess what? Welcome it. Please do.
That's exactly what we're diving into today, because Jaguar's story is huge and dangerous. She says this entire mystery links back to a case from 1998 that most people never knew existed. She mentioned a man named Derek Leaf Cardello Smith, who she claims served 28 years behind bars for something he didn't do. According to Jaguar, Derek's wrongful conviction ties directly to Diddy. She says Derek was accused of attacking a man named Carl Bishop. But the case file also contained another set of documents, ones that allegedly listed Diddy as a suspect in a connected incident. The documents included medical reports, incident logs, and other official records naming Diddy in extremely serious accusations.
The incident report identifying Sean Combs as the assault suspect. Well, do you understand what that means?
Hey.
Do you understand what that means? What I'm holding right here in my hand in this device that I uploaded for protection of the records. See, while everybody was busy watching that sham or whatever that was supposed to be to make people think that that guy actually was finally handled up on in some way, shape, or form, God was busy making sure that these very real findings came to me. Do you see what I'm telling you?
No, definitely.
There's a great kick. And the diddler is the assailant. His DNA found inside a man.
Jaguar goes even further, claiming the paperwork showed evidence in Derek's case was mishandled on purpose. She insists that powerful people knew Derek wasn't responsible and that the real culprit was someone with influence, someone the system didn't want to expose.
Defendant Derek Cardello Smith said, "Your Honor, I want to say this much. My mother is going to have to hear me say lies. And then she's going to think that I'm this type of person that I'm not. I'm not this kind of man that you people are forcing me to be. I want it to be clear that you can say on the record that I am a man who defended a woman and myself, and that I am being framed for multiple crimes that I am innocent of, and you know it, and are still forcing me into this with your full knowledge. Are you man enough to say that on this court record, sir?" And the judge's response is, "I am more than man enough to say so. Everything you said, I adopt on the record as true. You are not a rapist. You have been framed. And it was all done on our approval, and most especially on the approval of Kim L. Worthy. Are you happy now? Derek responds, hopefully one day this will all come out. The judge says, not today, take him back.
Jaguar says she uploaded all the documents online for her own safety. What's chilling is how much of this appears to be public record, yet no one ever questioned it. Derek spent nearly 3 decades trying to prove his innocence. And Jaguar claims Diddy played a major role in making sure he took the fall.
Derek replies, this is illegal. And Sean Combs, Kim L. Worthy are all behind this, and you're going to just sit there and let this happen, Your Honor. And the judge says, gotta pay the bills somehow. And the witness, Kim L. Worthy, says, amen to that.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Damn. So, Jack, when you see the words "justice for Diddy," what does justice look like to you?
I don't know if that's even possible. Because if he was able to pull this off before he was a billionaire, look at what we got going on now. See, this is bigger than anything that any of us can talk about. This is in Detroit. Who would ever think that the diddler had action where he could move things around like this in Detroit? And we're talking all the way back in the 90s. And every time this man has been about to come up for parole, Kim Worthy goes and gets one of those great kits that she's been holding on to and just throws it on him. And he's back, he's got to stay in jail. You don't remember right after Diddy was taken into custody, that story that came out about the inmate that sued him for $100 million and won on a default judgment? Y'all don't remember hearing about that right after he was arrested?
Yeah, it was so many lawsuits, but yes, that was one of them.
Yeah, but it was the only lawsuit where you had heard somebody had actually won against him.
She also claims that DNA evidence included in the file pointed directly at Diddy. According to her, this wasn't a small mention. Diddy was actually listed as a responsible party in the documents she reviewed.
Yeah.
He was actually an investor in Bad Boy. And they've been keeping him monkeyed up in jail all of this time, so they ain't gotta pay him.
Yes, hell, I want to know what justice for Derek looks like right now. Jeez. Hell.
He's entitled to 49% of whatever Combs Enterprise has amassed in the past 30 years. Almost 30 years. That's what he's entitled to. He already won a $100 million judgment. See, this is what was going on in the background while whatever that foolishness we just watched happen was happening. This was all going on in the background. It's starting to make you wonder if that trial happened to cover this up. Everything that they've done to ruin it so people would never believe a word that came out of his mouth. See, when you start here with these transcripts from 1998, which were sealed and then unsealed in 2007 and then sat there in the clerk's office and nobody knew about it because nobody knew to come and get it. Nobody knew where to get it. different names on the same case number. They thought they were clever.
Then Jaguar shifted her attention to Diddy's legal team. She alleges that one of Diddy's attorneys, Mark Agnifilo, had previously been involved in Derek's case years before, all without the public's knowledge.
You sitting here talking to me about these weird old lawyers, including Mark Agnifilo. You want to know what's funny? While Mark Agnifilo was sitting there making fun of baby oil and doing all of the stuff that he was doing in court and creating all of that nice guy hoopla, trying to get everyone to believe that Diddy is not such a terrible person and now he's a wonderful man and he deserves to go back to Madison Square Garden and he's going to be right there to cheer him on. Do you want to know where else he was? In Wayne County. Negotiating with Derek Lee Cardello Smith.
Wow.
His victim.
Wow.
Why would he be in negotiations with him if he actually believed that everything that he said in that courtroom was true?
Sounds like a fixer.
That's like a fixer. A liar.
Even more shocking, Jaguar claims that the same lawyer who recently defended Diddy in public had private interactions with Derek as well, and with Diddy under an alias in Wayne County years earlier. According to her, this wasn't coincidence. It was a pattern.
Diddy went to that jail to visit Derek his damn self in 2024.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Guess what name he was using to go to that jail to visit Derek so nobody would know it was him?
John Smith?
Brother Love.
Gosh. Damn.
What is clergy?
Damn. This is very wild. What made you?
Guess where he went? Just a couple of days before HSI raided all of his properties. What do I think about the powers that be? What you want me to think?
But wait, what made you find this rabbit hole to go down, and how many more rabbit holes do you believe there are?
Oh. See, I live in the rabbit hole. I don't believe in what everybody else believes in. I'm telling you something right now. When you got court officials that's sitting in court, they so brazen that they're actually threatening people.
That's very brazen.
Do you see do you see how this is going to go?
For Jaguar, this whole thing isn't just about Diddy's current sentencing. She believes it's the result of a decades-long operation happening behind the scenes. So what does that mean for Diddy now that this information is circulating publicly? Well, insiders say the courts may already be preparing to lengthen his sentence, especially after his latest behavior in prison.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs facing more time behind bars. His release date pushed back to June of 2028 instead of May of that same year. The news coming after reports of Combs drinking in prison, something he denies, after he was accepted into a rehab program in prison that could have reduced his sentence by up to a year. He's also been accused of making a prohibited three-way phone call from prison.
Multiple outlets claim Diddy has been secretly making phone calls behind bars, even though he's not allowed to. The question becomes, what could be so important that he's willing to risk angering the judges overseeing his case? Is he trying to control damage on the outside? Is he trying to protect his empire? Or is he afraid of someone finally exposing him?
So Combs' representative, Judah Engelmeyer, telling me by phone earlier today, Tom, that yes, a three-way call was made between one of Combs' lawyers, who did bring in another person on that call with Combs while he has been at Fort Dix, but that there was nothing improper about it. But again, that is not something that you were supposed to do at all. So those lawyers should have known better. As for drinking, he doubled down and said that Combs was not drinking and that in fact he's been admitted into this very specialized rehab program that Fort Dix offers. Is actually going to potentially lower his sentence. Yeah. He could be released earlier because of that. So they're saying he's done nothing wrong and that any reports that he has been drinking is completely not true.
Sarah, you know, after his trial, a lot of people said he got a legal victory. It looked like he was going to be on his way out in a couple of years. How far back does this set him now?
Well, we don't know yet, Tom, because you still have due process rights in prison, right? So there's going to be an incident report if he in fact was drinking or there's an allegation. Then he's going to go to hearing. And if he's found guilty of it, then there's going to be sanctions. The sanctions could be that he could essentially be thrown in the hole, the SHU, the special housing unit. He could lose his privileges and he could lose at least a minimum of 40 days of time credits, which is big. And I want to say this. Drinking in a BOP facility is as serious as committing murder in a BOP facility.
Is it really?
Yeah. As of 2020, the BOP changed the rules and reclassified drinking as one of the most severe charges in custody. So this is really serious if he actually did it.
Caught, Diddy faces harsh penalties, being thrown into the Special Housing Unit, the SHU, also known as the Hole, losing all privileges, and losing at least 40 days of earned time credits, which would push his release date even further. And adding fuel to the fire, sources say Diddy has told people he's writing a book, something that could violate New York's Son of Sam law, which prevents criminals from profiting off their crimes.
Gosh, I mean, I don't know to what extent this is sort of this callous sort of thinking on his part, or he just is an addict.
And you were telling me today he's writing a book.
And he's writing a book, which could cause him more problems under the Son of Sam law in New York. If he's monetizing on his crime.
This is all absolutely terrible if true. I mean, Combs made such a big deal about wanting to go to Fort Dix. He's trying to get out sooner than the 50 months in prison, Tom. The idea that he would be violating rules left and right within 2 weeks of getting there is really unfathomable after, again, listening to him cry and sob in front of the judge just recently saying, I want to do good, I'm sober, and I want to be released to go home to my family. So again, and like you said, President Trump, he doesn't like drinkers, okay? He doesn't drink himself. His brother was an alcoholic. And so has very strong opinions about that. He's talked about it. And if Diddy's seeking a pardon from President Trump before the new year, this is not a good look.
Outside prison, Diddy's world is collapsing even faster. He's already lost millions to lawsuits and legal fees, but now, insiders say he might be heading toward a brutal family battle over his $400 million fortune. Reports claim his 7 children are lawyering up to take financial control, pushing against his 85-year-old mother, Janice, who has managed his money for years. Sources say Janice is tough, sharp, and not willing to step aside. But Jaguar Wright dropped a bombshell when she alleged that Janice Combs might not actually be Diddy's biological mother, suggesting the financial fight is much darker than it looks.
Did y'all see when they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy?
I haven't seen that one. Please.
They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, but that woman is his aunt.
Whoa.
There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers.
If Jaguar's claims are true, Janice could be fighting for the biggest payout of her life, especially given her age. Some insiders even suggest that Cassie and her husband once attempted a similar move on Diddy's money, painting a picture of multiple people trying to secure a piece of his empire.
When Cassie left Diddy and became an independent, entity, did you reach out to Cassie to get a hook on one of your songs?
No.
Was there a bidding war over Cassie after she left Bad Boy?
No.
Because Cassie is not talented as a singer. She isn't. She had one song that her boyfriend wrote for her, and that was it. And I know the guy who was the head of marketing at Bad Boy during the whole time Cassie was there. And he said, and this is my friend, he said every time, because Diddy would have her in the studio all the time. Songs with Kid Cudi, who she ended up with afterwards, songs with like, you know, Ghostface, all types of collabs. Those are not free. Think Kid Cudi's just doing a verse for Cassie for free? That's probably $200,000. Every song, listen, I just want to say this. Every time Cassie would go to the studio and put together a song, they pushed those songs just as hard as every other artist on Bad Boy. The people just didn't take to them. She was a pretty face that was fucking the boss.
And got to living with her mama with her boyfriend.
Right.
Couldn't f in that house. You can't f at your mama house. You cannot f. That's it, you at your Lord. I done f at my mama house. You cannot fuck. You cannot. Like, you be like, man, you be like real like, I ain't breaking no break. I ain't trying to go too hard at my mama house. Like, that's your lowest. You gotta walk in that what you do when you wake up? You gotta walk. You gotta look out before you walk out. You can't walk out with your box. You don't want your hanging out. Real you at your lowest.
Yeah.
They was at their lowest and they devised a plan.
I agree.
Bruh, they devised a plan. When you go to your mama with your man, you take, and you the man at the girl mama house, that's even worse. You not even at your mama house. Y'all at y'all worst, y'all.
Inside prison. However, Diddy is trying to adapt. A former cellmate named Castillo claims that once the celebrity image faded, Diddy behaved like a regular inmate, humble, quiet, and focused on self-improvement. Castillo says they lived in the same unit and saw each other daily. According to him, Diddy wasn't trying to be special or superior, just trying to survive.
Approach them and ask for any advice or anything like that. He'll answer you 100%, and he was always willing to help, always willing to help. That's one thing I can say about him. I learned and got to love about him. He always gave you 100% of himself. He will set things to the side and make things his priority.
Like helping other inmates, you're saying?
Yes, helping other inmates.
Well, so that's another question. How did other inmates respond to him being there? I mean, was it divided? Was it some people were impressed, some people were starstruck, or, was it kind of like some people were angry?
At first, some people don't want to be groupies. They don't want to act like groupies. So they will try to act like, oh, that's Diddy, but we're not trying to be groupies. But as time went on, you got to understand, we all grew up analyzing Diddy. Like, he's from New York City. We're from New York. So we grew up hearing and seeing the icon, the legend, like the mogul. So now we're actually living with him. So now we're studying him and analyzing him in person. So, I feel like we all got to recognize with time was that he's human. And he's like one of us. He's one of us.
Castillo says Diddy even started a business and leadership program inside MDC, something that had never been done on such a scale in federal prison. Castillo acted as his assistant, helping distribute homework, collect assignments, and support new inmates joining the class. The surprising part? Many rough, high-ranking inmates reportedly attended.
Because you need to understand, this is something that has never been done in prison system ever. Especially in the federal system, it's about segregation. Black sticks with black, white sticks with white, Spanish sticks with Spanish, especially gang members. So Diddy was able to unify everybody, bring us together in one classroom. And we would sit there and listen and teach, and he will teach us these business ventures of his and everything, and sort of come up with our plans and our goals and really set it in order and how to go forward with it. He will always tell us successful people do what unsuccessful people won't do, and about sacrifices.
Wow.
He will show us that the work that he was doing on others was important for us to follow, not only just follow his footsteps, but put things into our own perspective and things like that. Like, I guess I could say in the program he showed always how to have faith in ourselves and believe in ourselves.
Diddy taught lessons on business planning, discipline, goal setting, mindset, and sacrifice. He often repeated that successful people do what unsuccessful people won't. But Castillo also made it clear MDC is extremely dangerous. People die inside that facility. Violence is constant, and even a celebrity isn't safe.
People's really dying in MDC Brooklyn. There's a war in there, there's violence, and there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of lost souls in there. People is hopeless, and you have people that's in there serving life. They have Sean Combs around murderers, people serving 30 years. So when you have things, when you facing those type of things, you have nothing to lose.
Right.
So it's very dangerous in there. It's very, very, very dangerous. I'm one of the lucky ones to say I made it out, because in there, you could go in. I've seen brothers go in there and really lose their lives. Especially while Mr. Combs was in there, 2 people has lost their lives.
Right. I do remember reading
due to gang violence.
Yeah. Did he have a CO that was kind of near him? More than others, or not really?
Nah, he's a regular inmate just like everybody else.
Wow.
They might watch him. They might watch him just a little more at times. But he's just a regular inmate, just like us. He's going through everything we're going through: the cold trays, the lockdowns, the police on the monitor us with the segregations. He is living what we're living. There is and there was no special treatment for Sean Diddy Combs. There's no favoritism for him in there at all.
So the big question remains: if Diddy was once protected, possibly even considered for a pardon, why is the system suddenly cracking down on him? Is it because his sentence is about to be extended? Are the guards letting things slide on purpose? With everything coming out, DNA claims, hidden files, illegal calls, attacks in prison, the future looks darker for Diddy than ever before. Let us know in the comments what you think.